Namath is in our studio.
Thank you.
I don't know why Beetle and Jalen are still here.
I don't either.
You just take over.
So, Joe, so many different things to talk about with you, but here we have another great hope. We've been trying to find the next Joe Namath with the New York Jets for 50 years. This is the 50-year anniversary this season of your winning the Super Bowl III. And now we have a new great young hope in this kid, Sam Darnold. So as you look at, he's 20 years old, coming into play in this market with all of the expectations. If you were to sit down with him and give him some advice of how to handle everything, what kinds of things would you tell him?
Wow. You know, this would take a little while to do that. One of them is to focus on his job instead of the outside distractions that may come into play. We all love seeing our names in the papers and seeing ourselves on television and all, and sometimes the way we're described can irritate us. And I learned to stop paying attention to the outside stuff and just focusing on the game. So that's one of the things.
Well, that's fascinating to me. I don't mean to cut you off, but if anyone was ever unapologetically themselves during their playing career, it was most certainly you. So are you saying that you heard a lot of that criticism and learned to block it out when you were making pantyhose commercials and wearing fur coats and all of those
I got angry. You know, I used to think I was brought up from school reading, you believe what you read. And whenever I saw things like an incident in Philadelphia when I hadn't been to Philadelphia, I said, wait a minute, how could they say that? That's not right. I took it seriously, and I found myself getting burns in the chest and the stomach, and I was walking into Shea Stadium to practice one day after I read something, and I said, look, wait a minute, look at me. This is terrible. I'm putting myself through this by choice. And so I stopped, and it's hard not to read about yourself, especially when it's good. But your friends give you the input, and it's nice. And to this day, I don't read about myself. My daughter says, that was good, Daddy, that's fine, you know.
Love that.
That's good.
That's the original don't read the comments.
Of course.
Correct.
Now it's more.
Social media, yes.
More than anything. What about him being a 20-year-old? Would you take your time with this kid and let him just sort of come behind Josh McCown and learn the ways and settle in this market?
You know, in any team sport, I believe the guy's got to earn his way and convince his teammates he belongs out there, whether it's the hardwood or whether it's grass, you know, whatever, man. So if he can show himself both intellectually, physically out there that he deserves to be, he should start. But 20 years old, in the big leagues, he's got a lot to learn.
Speaking of a lot to learn, Greeny's a diehard Jets fan.
What?
As he mentioned to you, he lives and dies with every game. So how have you dealt with the lack of success of your Jets over the years?
Well, you know, Jalen, pro football is different than college football to me. Ownership changes, players change, coaches change. I tend to look at the Jets as a player and seeing how they're going. The one thing that hasn't changed is the loyalty of the Jets fans. That's why I pull for the Jets and watch them every single week. Whenever we became from Titans to Jets, the fans have been there. Even when we went across the river, the fans are there, and bless the Jersey people, you know, they're supporting them. But because of the Jets fans always being there, you know, with the prices and everything changing, I want to see the Jets win. Yes, I start with green and crimson. Those are the two, and a little orange and black for Beaver Falls High School.
I like that. Let's talk about